Hey everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys my paycheck budget on my new iPad Pro. I'm so excited about this, and I'm excited because I can still utilize my budget planner in my iPad. So it allows me to still be able to write on it, highlight it, and do all of the things the same as I did on my actual Happy Planner. But now I can actually take this with me and I'll be able to track my spending on my expense tracker. So I am loving it so far. I've only had it for a week now and I'm just so excited about this. But this is my paycheck budget. This is actually my updated version of my budget worksheet. It is available in my Etsy shop. So what I do is right up here, and it's nice because I can actually zoom it in for you guys to see better. But up at the top, there is the income portion, and I have an available balance. This is the balance that is in my checkbook register. This is the funds that is remaining in my checkbook register. And I have my paycheck amount. So the total income is $919.17. And then right over here, this percentage formula. So on the worksheet, it has 70%, 20%, and 10 pre-printed on there. But as you can see, what I did here, I just wrote in an 8 for 80%, 10%, and then another 10% there for the tithe. So you can do that adjustment on your worksheet if 80% works best for you when it comes to your expenses. So expenses is for all of your bills and your daily cash envelopes. So any spending is what your expenses are. And then your goals is essentially what that means, your goal. If you want to be debt free, you will put that, I recommend putting that percentage amount for debt or your other savings goals. So for me and for us here, it's to put it towards sinking funds and our savings goals. And then the 10%, which is the last percentage in this percentage formula, is for our tithe. So I just put a little arrow down here because I tithe off of the paycheck amount. I do not tithe off of the total balance, because this available balance is funds from a previous pay, and it's just a balance that is remaining in the checking account. So I've already tithed off of that amount, so I don't have to tithe from the total income. I tithe from the paycheck dollar amount. So that's why I put that little arrow there. So I've already calculated what each of this are for these categories. So the goal is to have at least $735. Not go above that for the spending for expenses. And then $91 is what our goal is for saving and also paying towards sinking funds. And then 10% for the tithe is from the paycheck, which is, I round up, it's $84. So now let me go ahead and show you my bill tracker. So I have that right here, and I'll turn it. But this is the bill tracker, and what's nice about this is that you can write in your paydays. So I did that here for the month of September, and what I do is I highlight when I have to have that total amount due. So obviously I know this says 31 for our monitoring system. There's not 31 days in September, so it's really the last day of the month. But then if there's 31 days, it comes off on the 31st. So I do have that highlighted that it has to be paid by the 25th. We have to have that amount set aside. Just in case there's someone that's looking at this like, Lizzie, really? 31 for September? But yeah, I have everything written in. I write in the total amount of what these bills are, highlight them, I break it down by the paycheck, and it doesn't allow it to be so overwhelming when you have to pay a bill. So we receive 4 pays in the month. Both of us work full-time jobs, and so it allows us to easily break this down paycheck to paycheck. So I just wanted to show you guys that on where I got my numbers, but I go through this column here for the 11th, and I just marked off that I did write that down on my paycheck budget. So let me go ahead and just switch back to the paycheck budget. So that is what I did, and then that is what all of these expenses are. So I wrote them in right here along with the giving, and then I highlighted this I track in my envelope. However, it is not a cash envelope category. So I have a tracker. Let me actually get my wallet so you guys can see. I have my gas on this tracker in my wallet, but I just wanted to make a note that I do track that, so that's why it is highlighted, and it's in an online account. So the only other things that is not on that bill tracker are my variable spending, which is SunPass, gas, and then this miscellaneous. What this miscellaneous is just extra money that we are gonna just leave in the bank account. We're not gonna withdraw it. We're hopefully not gonna spend it, but it's gonna allow us that peace of mind in case there is like an unexpected expense. We do have extra funds so our balance doesn't drop to zero. $30 we are going to be loading to our SunPass. I want to create a realistic budget, and what I did is this past week I looked at our SunPass account, and if you don't know what SunPass is, it's our toll transponder, because we do have toll roads here in Florida and we use SunPass. Now there's another one, it's ePass, so I'm not sure if we might want to switch to ePass. I don't know what the difference is between ePass and SunPass or other toll transponder. If you have an idea, let me know. Comment down below of what the difference is between them. But we use SunPass, and I looked at the past week, and my husband, he's been doing a lot of work, a lot of traveling for his business, and he has been taking more toll roads and going through more tolls. So I went through and I saw that we were at around like $28, $29 that we had used in toll roads for 1 week. So realistically, we should be putting $30 for a week's time so that we have enough in that in our SunPass account. And then $100 for gas. That has worked out really well. So total expenses is $619.79 for all of these expenses that come out of the bank account. So now we did mention that our expenses should be about $735. Okay, so we're just going to take that $735 and we're going to subtract the $619.79 so that we know where we stand for our cash envelopes. This is how I did this when it came to breaking down our budget. So we are still left with $115 roughly to still be within that goal amount that we set for ourselves. Oops. So that is really exciting to know that we still have that amount. So now when you take your income, subtract the giving, and then you subtract this expenses, we are left with $190.38 to still break down in our budget. And then remember, we have our goals still, and then we still have cash envelopes that we do have to stuff. So these are the cash envelopes that I use in my wallet. We have our eating out, groceries, home, pet, and spending. Those are the cash envelopes that I do utilize. Based on what I looked at on what is left over in our envelopes, I figured that these dollar amounts would be okay. So in eating out, we have $33 remaining in this envelope. So I think, and we didn't spend anything for eating out last week. So I think adding $10 in there would be, good, because the weekend is coming up and I want to make sure that we are set and we don't, spend more. For groceries, we are only going to be adding $25. And here's the reason why. We have $60 left in our grocery envelope, and we usually set aside $75 each week. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that. So it's kind of nice that we can put less in there because we spent less last week. So hopefully we can still do what we did this past week, is going through what we have in our, our pantry and really creating a good meal plan for us. And then for home, we do have funds still left over. We have $10. So I think just adding $5 to get small essentials for the house would be good. Pet, we still have some funds in the pet envelope. We have $12, and we do have to buy them some dog food. So dog food usually is about $13 for the food that we get them. And so since we have 12, I think adding $5 would be good. So that way we have enough. And then spending, I have currently $54 in my spending envelope, and my husband does have some, so this would be for him. It's $20 for him to like get his hair cut or something. It's really not that expensive for that, so I know that having that set aside for spending is good. So $65 is what we will be stuffing in our cash envelopes for the daily use. Oops, sorry. And then now we are getting to our sinking funds. So sinking funds based on importance. These are the sinking funds that we are going to be loading from this paycheck. We do have a lot more sinking funds categories. However, anytime when you do a budget and you want to save for a particular event or category or whatever the case is, you want to prioritize of what is most important to you, right? So one of the things you can think of is security, right? Are you secure in the decision of how much you have or lack thereof, right? If you don't have funds in a savings account for an emergency, that is a big deal. You should have at least $1,000 in a savings account for an emergency. If you do not have that, stop what you're doing, stop paying extra on debts, just pay your minimum and get a starter emergency fund. So if that's anything that you get out of my video, please, 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 now is not the time to be paying extra towards debt or anything like that if you don't have a savings. Please make sure that you have at least $1,000 in a savings account in case of an emergency. So security is one thing that is really important to us. And so having, even if it's like minor, if it's $5, putting it towards specific categories. So we have car maintenance. It's an online account. I have it highlighted. We're just going to be loading $5 in that. So we do have a good amount of money in our car maintenance savings account, but I still want to just contribute something from this paycheck. Christmas, we have a set goal amount. So every paycheck we do add $25. This is kind of like a fixed amount up until November, because November we will meet our goal of having our $1,000 for our Christmas fund. I'm so excited about that. It's crazy. We've never had that much, but it's gonna feel so good that it took time, but we did it in small amounts, and you are able to reach whatever goal you have with dedication, right? And then we have our gifts. We're just gonna load $5 in that cash envelope, and medical, we're gonna add $10 to that savings account that we have for our medical fund, because accidents happen and you want to make sure that you have enough for co-pays. Now the last one is our home fund, which is the remaining amount. So you take $190 and you subtract the cash envelope amount, $65, subtract the sinking funds amount, and that leaves you with $80.38, and that is what we will be transferring to our home fund. That is for our down payment on our next house. Our goal is to have at least 20% down. So I'm really excited that we're slowly growing that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and fill out my teller slip. This is just from my worksheet here that you could just cut out the teller slip, so that way you're prepared for taking the slip to the bank, so you get the specific denominations that you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tally up what I need from here. It's one $10 bill, 3 20s, 5 5s. And let's see how much cash we actually are going to be withdrawing. So it's the 65 plus the 30. So remember, the highlight, we are not withdrawing. That's in an online bank account. So $95 is the total cash. So let's just make sure. So Tomorrow, since tomorrow is payday, I'm gonna go ahead to the bank, take my teller slip with me, and then we will get to stuffing our cash envelope. All right guys, so it is payday and I just came back home from the bank and I got all of the cash that I needed. It's only $95, but we're gonna go ahead and get to stuffing my cash envelopes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with my daily cash envelopes in my wallet. And we said that we're going to be stuffing $10 for this one. Oh, let me actually put it this way. And for lunch today, I did end up using $6 for lunch. So you're gonna see a difference in the totals here. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put in the $10. I'm gonna write in that we added 10, so now there is $37 in there. The next one is groceries. So groceries is getting $25. So there's 85 that is what's gonna be in here now. So let me go ahead and put the 25. Organize my cash. So there's 60, 70, 85, that is correct. Home, we are putting $5 in here, so that brings us up to 15 in there. And pets is getting $5, bringing this up to 17. And the spending, this is what's going, I'm just gonna give this to my husband. He doesn't use cash envelopes. I'm just gonna set this aside for him. So I am done with my wallet. I'm gonna put this aside. And then the next two envelopes that we will be stuffing are from the sinking funds, which is Christmas and gifts. So I have them in this pouch here. These are from Budgeting with Ashley's Etsy shop, so you can go ahead and check out her shop if you're wanting some laminated envelopes. But we're adding the 25, bringing this up to $7.50. So let's just make sure. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 40, 60, 80, 20, 40, 60, 80, 7, 20, 40, 45, and 50. Okay, all right, that is done. And then let me find the gifts. So gifts, we are adding $5. So there's $49 that is left for the gifts. 20, 40, 35, 6, 7, 8, 49. All right, and there's one more thing I just realized that I didn't adjust, and that is this category here, which is the gas. It's not an envelope, but I do have the tracker. So if you can see here, it says that there's $14 that was left over, but that is a part of that starting balance. So we've already reallocated where that money is going. So we said that we wanted to keep having that $100 as the balance. So what I'm gonna do to just bring this back to, you know, making it even, I'm gonna say that on the 11th, we rebalanced. I'm gonna bring this to 0. And then I'm also gonna say that we just added back in $100, bringing my starting balance, or the balance of this sheet, back to 100. So that way I can go ahead and track my spending for the gas category. But guys, that is everything for today's video. I hope that you found it helpful and inspiring and just motivating for you to just get on a written budget. Start now, and you don't have to start perfect, okay? You're gonna learn as you go. I'm still learning and adjusting our budget as we go along, but trust me, it is a lifesaver. It can completely change the way that you live your life when you are doing it on a budget. But that is everything for today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys!